Guys, so it's been a little while. As you can probably tell from the wallpaper in the background, I'm at my mum's. I've had a busy couple of weeks, so I'm just going to give you an update because my vlogging schedule has been awful recently. I have dyed my hair. You can't see it very well, but it's red. So yeah, I'm going to give you a brief overview of what I've read so far in November. As we're coming up to the end of the year, and I'm trying to hit my goal of 200 books. So far this month, a lot of non-fiction. Very unusual for me, but I read the Masters of Medicine by Andrew Lamb. If you're interested in medicine, the history of medicine, how medicine evolved in certain cultures, I highly recommend you pick that up. There's a lot of information on there. And then the next two non-fiction ones are really weird. The Anarchist Cookbook by William Powell and Steal This Book by Abby Hoffman. Now both of these were written in the age of the anarchists, so 60s, 70s, 80s. Basically, the Anarchist Cookbook is exactly what it says. It's a cookbook for anarchists, and it tells you how to make a lot of illegal stuff. Although the entire sections on phone and computer hacking are completely outdated because they're talking about landlines, payphone, and modem routers, or dial-up, which very few people use nowadays. Steal This Book goes along a similar vein, but it's more of F the government, and it tells you like where you can get like free food, free housing, free clothes. Yes, some of the methods are illegal, but a lot of them actually turn out to be completely legal routes that the government deliberately don't advertise. Obviously this is specifically around the American government. So I really enjoyed Steal This Book. The Anarchist Cookbook was alright, but it's more just like structured the way a cookbook is, where you have like recipe 1, recipe 2 with very little context. Steal This Book actually provides a lot of context on what America was like at the time and how certain groups of people survived. And then the last non-fiction and the most recent book I read was Slender Man by Kathleen Hale, and this is telling the story of the Slender Man stabbings. Basically, 3 12-year-old girls are involved in this, Bella, Morgan, and Anissa. And basically one day, Morgan and Anissa stabbed Bella 19 times because they were trying to appease Slender Man, who, if you're in the horror side of things, is a creepypasta character. Same as Jeff the Killer and all that, very famous. But it's not just about the crime, it looks at the lives of all 3 girls involved. The situations leading up to the stabbing itself, the aftermath, obviously them being arrested and sent to jail and all sorts of that. But a lot of it focuses on the court case, because one of the girls has diagnosed early onset schizophrenia. Although she doesn't officially get her diagnosis until she's incarcerated, but it's very obvious because her father has schizophrenia, and mental health disorders like that can be inherited or run in families. And a lot of the signs and symptoms that Morgan had developed schizophrenia were deliberately ignored by her parents, who recognised them, and then other adults around her, teachers, etc., just labelled her as, you know, a weird kid, a loner kid, and she was doing things like talking to imaginary friends for attention. So it has a lot of social commentary on how the stigma around mental health and the way mental health is diagnosed and treated is actually at fault for why this crime happened. If Morgan had been diagnosed younger, or her parents hadn't ignored the signs and got help, then there is a really strong possibility this crime wouldn't have happened at all. So, for me, it was heartbreaking at times to read, because you're constantly reminded that all three of these girls are 12 years old when this crime happens. And the thing I found particularly heartbreaking was Anissa was granted a conditional release, because both were not sent to jail, they were both confined to a mental institution. Anissa was granted a conditional release purely on the basis that she didn't have a pre-existing mental health disorder and therefore wouldn't be seen as a threat. Whereas Morgan is constantly rejected, and in the end, by the time she's 20, by 2021, she decides she's not going to apply for a conditional release. She's been sentenced to 40 years in this facility, and that she's just going to stay there. Which is heartbreaking, because you realise that by the time she leaves the facility, she is not going to know how to function in society because of the age she was when she was incarcerated, and B, she's not going to know how to form normal relationships and friendships because she hasn't been able to socialise with people the same age as her since she was 12, which is heartbreaking. So after that, I needed a bit of light-hearted stuff, so I went back to the Human Mating Site series by B.R. Wilde, and I read books 4 and 5, Mr. Kinky and Mr. Heartless. Mr. Kinky was on the fence for me. It was a book where, at that point in the series, I was actually considering, like, is this going anywhere, or are these just going to be really short, smutty novellas, which I do like, but in a long series like this, 13 novellas, I was wondering if there was a point to the series. And then in book 5, Mr. Heartless, we actually get some harder hitting topics, some character development, and a potential look at what the end game could be, which I really enjoyed. So I'm not sure what I'm going to read next. I do have a couple of options, but as of right now, I don't know. So, even though I haven't posted anything in like 2 weeks, over 2 weeks, this is just going to be my little wrap up for now. However, because I'm at my mum's for 2 more days and then I'm home and my schedule has kind of calmed down, I will be trying to vlog more regularly and get back on a weekly schedule, but I don't know if that is going to be the case. But yeah, we shall wait and see. Yeah, I think that's everything for now. I've given you an update on what I'm reading. My mental health has been the reason why I haven't been vlogging as much or reading as much, because the past couple of months I have been pretty slumpy. So that's improved quite a lot, so I'm hoping for the last couple of weeks of November going into December that I will be able to get back on a weekly schedule, because ideally, especially over the Christmas period, I do want to be able to post in advance if I can, so that I'm not stressing out over Christmas. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there for now, guys, and I'll see you in a bit.